Psychopaths are a type of human that cats must approach with extreme caution. Luckily, it's very easy for a cat to notice if a human is a psychopath. They will act extremely friendly towards other humans, and possibly towards cats. But their body language and scent will give them away, as their body language and body scent will not match the level of friendliness that they try to display to the world. A psychopath can cause considerable, possibly even lethal, harm to both cats and humans, and it is of the utmost importance that cats give them a wide berth. What is it about these psychopathic humans that makes them so dangerous?
A psychopath is a human that lacks empathy and remorse, and they are typically only interested in using people for their own benefit. They often appear intelligent, friendly, and charming, but will manipulate and exploit others for their own needs, and will engage in illegal and risky behavior. Psychopaths can be extremely dangerous for cats, as they will often humiliate cats for fun in front of other humans. They will also torture cats for their own pleasure, and some will go as far as killing a cat, usually for their own amusement, but also to show off to other evil humans, or to gain sick pleasure from emotionally hurting friendly humans who would have cared for that cat. The more a cat knows about a psychopath's mentality, the more prepared a cat will be if confronted by a psychopath.
Psychopaths are more likely to physically harm cats than humans, as under human law, the penalty for harming a cat is much less than for harming a human. This is most evident in relation to the laws governing murder. In most countries, a human will not be severely punished for killing a cat, while a human killing another human will almost certainly lead to a lengthy prison sentence if the killer is caught. Indeed, in some countries, it is socially acceptable for a human to drown unwanted cats or kittens, even in countries where this is illegal. Psychopaths will use these legal and social situations for their own sick and twisted leisure activities. As a result, it is very important that a cat identify any possible human psychopaths early and watch their every move.
It is very easy for a cat to spot a psychopath, and it is important to do this early and give the psychopath a very wide berth, and if possible avoid altogether. Psychopaths rarely approach cats, as they know we are very good at uncovering their true nature very quickly. If a psychopath tries to gain favor with a cat, they will usually try to do it by plying a cat with juicy cuts of the finest meat. They will typically try this when the cat is most hungry, as they know the cat is less likely to resist. If the psycho is with other humans who have good intentions, it may be possible to accept the meat and run, leaving the psycho with nothing. If the psycho is alone or with humans that do not have good intentions, then it is best for a cat to get the hell out of there and never return, as the meat is most likely a trap to kidnap the cat and not an attempt to gain a cat's favor. A direct psycho approach to a cat is uncommon, but can happen. The indirect approach is a much more tricky proposition.
A psycho directly approaching a cat is easily dealt with. If a psycho first approaches a favorite human, then it is going to be a much more difficult situation for a cat to diffuse. Your human will probably be approached by a psychopath when not in the cat's presence, usually when the human is at work or at a human social event. Work and social events are the psychopath's favorite hunting ground. A psycho gains favor with a human by at first being extremely friendly with them, by praising them, or offering exciting opportunities. It's usually a gradual process to manipulate your human into feeling that they have a trusted friend who makes them feel amazing about themselves. It's only later in the friendship, when the psycho tries to get your human to do something uncomfortable, that their true nature becomes apparent.
If your human has been groomed by a psychopath, it will probably be well into the process by the time the psycho meets the cat. How a cat should react upon meeting a psycho that has taken an interest in your favorite human will depend on how far along the grooming process has progressed. If it's early on in the process, then a cat should aggressively hiss at the psycho. This should be enough to warn your human that something is amiss, though the psycho will probably try to deflect and laugh off the incident by dismissing the cat as silly. This will usually not work, as most humans will trust the advice of a cat hissing.
If the grooming process has progressed further, then a cat will have to be extremely cunning in order to outsmart the psycho. The best way to do this is to make sure psycho grooming never progresses to a dangerous level. You can do this by watching for changes in your human's mood, behavior, or personality. There are some key markers to be aware of. Very early on in the grooming process, your human will suddenly be in a very good mood, especially after returning from work or human social events. While this is most likely down to success at work or in relationships, there may also be negative forces at play, and it is important for a cat to investigate further. You can do this by reaching out through trusted cat channels. Find out where your human is working or socializing. Ask other cats to keep an eye on them to see if they have been approached by known psychos. You can also consult cat graffiti, as there will be extensive records of all psychopathic humans in your area. It's especially important to do this research if you notice that your human has recently been in a good mood, but is now sad, frustrated, or conflicted in any way, as this is a sure sign that something is amiss, and a cat needs to take immediate action.
At all stages of the grooming process, it is important to be close to your human. Make sure to pamper them, welcome them home, and comfort them, especially if they are feeling down. This will ensure that when the time comes to hiss at the psycho, your human will take your side. It would also be prudent to find ways to undermine the psycho using creative methods through the various cat channels outlined above. Most psychopaths will be well known both to cats and cat history, and steps to undermine their power will be well documented. For example, many psychopaths are restaurant owners or managers. Getting their restaurant closed, either permanently or temporarily, will be a big blow to their prestige and finances, and is a good way of diverting their attention away from any human they are trying to manipulate. Closing a restaurant is an easy feat for a cat to accomplish, as a strategically placed dead mouse in the soup of a hysterical customer is almost guaranteed to have that customer running to the Food Safety Authority or phoning the local radio station. It's also amazing how effective human word of mouth can be. Cat graffiti and the advice of other cats will have information on how to deal with a psycho operating in almost any human social or work situation.
The worst-case scenario in relation to a psychopath is if they have manipulated your favorite human to such an extent that your human will trust the psycho only. This is why it is so important to closely watch for unusual or sudden changes in your human's temperament at an early stage and nip any psychopathic infestation of your human before they can be severely manipulated. If this worst-case scenario has occurred, a cat will have to prepare themselves to do the unthinkable. You may have to abandon your human. This will be heartbreaking for a cat, but may be unavoidable if a psycho has taken control of your human.
Have you ever had to deal with a human psychopath? Did they affect you or your human? How did you handle the situation? Please let us know in the comments, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more informative cat content and advice.